In this video, I will be reviewing the first generation iPad mini. Alright guys, so this is the all new iPad mini. It retails for $369 in Australia and $329 in the US. And this particular model that I am reviewing is the black and slate model. It is also available in a white and a silver model. Going through the specs, the iPad mini is 200mm high, it is 134.7mm in width, it is 7.2mm in depth, and it weighs 308 grams, which is quite light. This model I'm reviewing is the 16GB model, however it comes in a 32GB and 64GB model, and also there are LTE models available. The iPad mini does feature Bluetooth 4.0, the latest revision of Bluetooth, along with 802.11a, b, g, and n. Let's talk about the display. It's got a resolution of 1024 by 768, and this gives you 163 pixels per inch. This is roughly the same pixels per inch as the original iPhone. So it is a very low DPI screen. Now the pixels are very easy to see in comparison to other tablets such as my Nexus 7 for example. You can definitely see the pixels a lot easier here on the iPad mini. However, you'll probably need to see this in person to understand the difference between this and the Retina iPad. So while the screen may look good to people who have never used a Retina display before, it will probably look immediately noticeable to people who have used the Retina iPad or the iPhone 4. So overall I would say the screen is not terrible, however it will look pretty bad to anyone who's coming from a Retina display, including myself. When I turned this device on, the pixels were immediately noticeable, and I mean immediately. The 163 pixels per inch is just very low in 2012. Almost 2013, and yeah, it's just not a very good screen. However, apart from the screen resolution, the screen quality is actually quite nice. I found the viewing angles to be quite acceptable, and it has a pretty good off-axis viewing angle. But overall, I don't like the screen because of the very low resolution. This thing has an A5 chip in it, which was used in the iPad 2, and only 512 megabytes of RAM. This thing does not have any power by any stretch of the imagination in comparison to the competition. I did a Geekbench test on this. Go ahead and check it out on my channel, youtube.com/iTechEverything. But I'll just say it did not perform very well. In day-to-day tasks, that doesn't really get in the way of you doing things. iOS is pretty well snappy on the A5. Pinching and zooming seems to be pretty smooth, and most things seem to run pretty well. However, I will say if you're editing videos in the iMovie app, for example, it will definitely not render as fast as the new iPad 4. I did a camera quality test on my channel, once again, youtube.com/iTechEverything. Check that out if you want to see the quality. However, it has a front-facing HD 720p camera, and it also has a back 5-megapixel 1080p camera. Now the back camera is not as good as the iPhone 4S camera, however it is probably around as good as the iPhone 4's camera, which is pretty decent. And the front camera is pretty good for a front-facing HD camera. Now talking about design, I absolutely love the design of the iPad mini. It just looks nice. I love the design on the back. It has a very nice texture to it. However, I will say that the black model picks up a lot of fingerprints, as you can see. But it just looks very, very nice. It looks a lot better than the full-size iPad in my opinion. It looks almost like a big iPod Touch, because this is essentially the iPod Touch design, not their traditional iPad design. Giving you a tour of the ports, on the left-hand side, absolutely nothing. On the bottom, we've got our Lightning connector, along with stereo speakers, which is a first for the iPad. On the right hand side we have volume down, volume up, along with the rotation toggle right there. And on the top we have our microphone along with our headphone jack. So as I mentioned, this does have the new Lightning connector, meaning all the old iPod accessories and all the 30-pin dock connectors that you have laying around will not work with the iPad mini. This does feature Siri, however, it still sucks. When does the NRL season start?
Rugby. I wish I knew more about that.
So do I, Siri. So do I. This thing will give you about 10 hours of battery life. However, I think the iPad 4 actually will deliver slightly better battery than that. But overall, you will definitely get right around that 10 hours of battery. Now, for $369 or $329 in America, Apple are asking for quite a lot of money for their new mini tablet. Considering the specs, the price is quite premium when you compare it to the Nexus 7, which the 16GB version is $250 in Australia and $200 in the US. So in Australia, you're looking at around $120 price premium for this compared to the Nexus 7. And it is quite a lot. However, you do get the back camera, the way better front camera, and the gorgeous design. However, you do actually get a worse screen, which is quite funny. And the screen is also not in widescreen, it is in 4:3, so when you watch videos you'll get black borders along the sides of the screen. However, the 4:3 aspect ratio actually does work pretty well for portrait and is better than the 16:9 aspect ratio in my opinion for portrait viewing. So if you're looking to buy the iPad mini, I would say unless you really want it, don't buy it. Wait till next year, and Apple will probably sell this with a Retina display for the exact same price. Then I think it will be worth it, because that price premium would justify it if it had a Retina display. So once again, if you don't care about the screen and you love iOS, sure, buy it. It's pretty expensive, but hey, if that's what you want. And if you can wait, hold out till next year when it gets a Retina display, and this will become a truly amazing tablet, especially if they upgrade the RAM and the chip to like an A5 or A7 chip next year, because for the price I don't think they should be including an old CPU in here. So hey guys, that's going to do it for this video. Check out all my other videos I've done on the iPad mini and the iPad 4th gen. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, as I really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions about the iPad mini. Click subscribe right above, and follow me on Twitter over at twitter.com/iTechEverything. See you guys in the next one.